Okay, today the weather is pretty warm, almost zero wind. So let's start. This glider is about 266 grams with a little lead 1.4 grams in the nose. I fly it with the center of gravity around 80, between 80 to 81 millimeters from the leading edge. And let's start. At the beginning, I start tuning it very roughly according what the manufacturer advised me to do. And after a while, using it in several weather conditions, I decided that this glider needs to be adjusted a little bit different. I'm going to talk about I'm not going to talk about the percentage of throws regarding the ailerons. I just would like to say that this glider in cruise mode does not like elevator to camber mix. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the profile. It needs to maintain the speed. In my point of view, this glider has a very narrow airspeed to fly in, so any big changes in that speed affects the possibility of start stalling. So I decided for my kind of flying, it's personal preferences, I decided not to use elevator to camber in cruise mode. I'm using cruise mode when the ailerons camber is about 2 millimeters from zero position. Zero position is speed mode that it's flat with the wing center. And I'm using thermal that's about 3 to 4 millimeters of camber. And now I'm testing if using elevator to camber in thermal mode will help me, just in thermals, will help me to tighten the turns and increase the wing lift. So now I'm in thermal mode. I have some small mix of elevator to camber, and I think the plane, while it's in thermal, and there is a lot of energy in that thermal, so I can use the elevator to camber mix. Otherwise, in cruise mode, I'm not using it. I find that in cruise mode it's better for the plane not to change the wing profile, not to change the airspeed dramatically from one point to other. So I think I pretty much adjusted. I don't remember exactly what is the differential ratio I used, since I changed it a lot. So maybe at the end of the clip I'll add a chart saying the correct measurements of ailerons throw and elevator throw. My usual flying style is using a lot of rudder during turns, while correcting a little bit with the right stick that controls the ailerons and elevator. And I also found that maybe it's my lack of skills or my preferences, that I'm during very light thermals, I made a small mix, between the rudder, it means the left stick, and the elevator, meaning that in high throw, when I move the rudder stick very aggressively, I made a small adjustments at the elevator, meaning that while in thermal, I'm while using a lot of elevator, I'd like the plane to a little bit lower the nose. While doing the turn in thermal with the rudder, it means that the elevator is going down one, maybe half or 1 millimeter down at maximum throw of the rudder. In that way, it helps me to lower the nose and maintain the plane speed, during turns. I'm not using the rudder all the way the turn. I'm just using it sporadically. So I'm always correcting with the right stick, the elevator stick, and if I need a little bit more down on the elevator, I add it with the right stick, the elevator stick. I found that in my flying skill, it serves me the best. So now I can say that this plane is a very, very good one during very slow thermals, very light air. Now I think we are in about 100 plus 150 meters in thermal. Now I'm in thermal mode. What I can say that this plane, to tune up this plane, it reminds me a little bit the process I went through with my other glider, my Steigeisen. It takes a little bit more time to tune this plane, but after you do so, it benefits you with a lot of good behavior that other gliders can't cope with. Meaning that this glider can thermal in very low altitude. It maintains its velocity, its airspeed, and but I have to say more that this glider can give you maybe 5 to 10% more performance than my other gliders, but all depends on two options. It means you can if you adjust it, tune it correctly, and you know your way how to fly it, it will give you those up to 10% more performance. But it means that it can be a benefit to a skilled pilot. Even a beginner pilot can fly it, but he won't achieve those 5 to 10% extra performance than my other gliders. And I have several. I have Steigeisen, I have Fireworks 5, I have Stark, I have Accent, I had the Helios 2, and I think that this glider can give a skilled pilot up to 10% more performance if he knows how to tune it. While in a not skilled hand pilot, this glider will perform normal as other gliders, because this glider is not that tolerant to flying it not efficient. It means if you fly it efficiently, you will get those 10% of performance. Otherwise, you will fly it just like other normal DLGs, or much more tolerant DLGs. I have several DLG like the Fireworks 5. I have the Stark, that they are very good gliders. They are very tolerant to flying mistakes, and in beginner hands it's very good, but in skilled pilot hands it limits the pilot to a certain performance that this glider, the Stream, can give a skilled pilot maybe up to 10% more performance than other gliders. This is very important for skilled pilots, since there are some times during contests that skilled pilot needs those 5 to 10% extra performance in order to gain the 5 to 10 seconds they need to win the session. I don't know exactly how much time I'm up there. It was the first launch, but I suppose today's weather is pretty much excellent for thermaling. The clouds are very light. I don't know what's the reason for the air to be so excellent up there, but I'm not complaining. Let's go back, do some maneuvers as I like. I used to fly control line airplanes, so I like to do those maneuvers, making square on sky, flying upwards, upside down, not upwards, upside down, turning, a little bit of rolling making, and let's try to catch more thermals. It won't be a problem, since the weather is excellent. Now I'm using rudder stick and a little bit up on the elevator. Maybe I'll increase the camber on the thermal mode. I'm using the flap mix on my A9, the Aurora, so I can increase on the left slider. I can increase the camber of the, in the thermal mode I can increase by 2 millimeters more. It means I can reach up to 6 millimeters of camber. It's pretty much useful in calm weather. In very turbulent weather, I'm not suggesting of using too much of camber. The glider doesn't like those changing on wing speed. So I'm usually in very turbulent weather, I'm using the glider in cruise mode, while I'm changing to thermal just as I need and returning back to cruise mode if I see that the glider beginning to lower his speed up to nearly stalling. So I'm going back to cruise mode and getting back the speed he needs in order to cruise efficiently. I think the climbing ratio of this glider is very good. If you are maintaining the glider speed correctly in the correct point, you can gain a very good climbing ratio. That's all about this glider. I have two versions of this glider, and now I'm flying the D-Box version. I haven't yet finished the full carbon version. So maybe in couple of days I'll finish the full carbon version, so I can adjust it and tune it exactly as the D-Box version, and went out to the field to test it a little bit. I know that I'm talking too much sometimes, so it was important for me to say all I have to say within this flying. I don't know how much it's gonna take in the clip, but I think this information is very valuable for those who are facing this glider for the first time. As I mentioned, this is not a tolerant glider, but if you tune it correctly, it can gives you, I think, up to 10% more performance than other gliders I fly. And eventually, I think that at the end, it's all about the pilot. It means if you are a good pilot, if you know how to handle the sticks gently and efficiently, I think most gliders are, most of the recent gliders I have are very good gliders. The differences between them are pretty much minoric. It means that in good pilot hands, even a less better glider can perform better than a high-end glider. So it's all about practicing, and if you practice a lot, you'll gain the extra performance that you need in order to win contests. That's my point of view. That's my way of life during those marvelous gliders, flying it. So I'm very happy that I entered this this field of F3K. I think it's very rewarding section. It's a very rewarding area to be in. You don't need a lot of airfield in order to fly it. The logistics of building it on field is just assembling the wing, and you can throw it and you are up in the air in a couple of minutes. It's excellent gliders. I like it very much. I don't know how much time I'm now at the up there, but I'm enjoying so much. Okay, let's come back. I think that was enough for one flying. Put it in speed mode and let's come very fast. maybe more thermals. Let's try to find a very low altitude thermal to play with. That was very good flying.